First of all, we'll have a look at the chord positions for the intro. We're starting off by doing a G chord, and you're doing a G without using your first finger. So your fourth finger is now on the 3rd fret of the high E string. I mean, normally most people do a G in this way, but in order to do the riff correctly, we have to do kind of an alternate fingering for the G chord. So it's starting like with your 3rd finger, and then your 2nd finger, and then your 4th finger. So that's going to be chord number 1 as a G, and then you keep your 4th finger where it is throughout the entire chord progression, so you never take your 4th finger away from that position on the 1st string 3rd fret. So after you've done your G, these two here, fingers 3 and 2, go down 1 string each, and finger number 1 goes 2nd string 1st fret, so you get like a C. Again, remembering that your 4th finger stayed where it is. Then fingers 2 and 3 again go down 1 string each, and we get an F, well, kind of an F. It's like F add 9, and then back up to C, and then back up to G. So the complete progression is going. So once we have our chords together, the next thing to concentrate is the actual articulation, the picking of which strings and the kind of rhythm in order to produce the intro and have it sound correctly. So when you hold your G chord, you do a strum from the 6th string down to the 2nd string, and you don't hit the 1st string, you stop after the 2nd string. From there we have a picking pattern based on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd strings only. So you pick the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, and then go back to the 1st. I'll do it a bit slower. After that you hit the 2nd string and 3rd string again, so it would be and then finally to finish you hit the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, and back to the 2nd string. So all together it would go. It's probably a good idea if you're kind of tabbing this out as we go along as well, to make it less confusing, especially if it's your first time trying to learn it. So to summarize for the G chord, you do your strum down to the 2nd string, and then add in your picking pattern. And a bit slower. After our G shape, we're coming into C as our next chord, and you begin by hammering on your into your C shape, especially with your 2nd and 3rd fingers, hammering down onto the 5th string and the 4th string for, you know, in the place where your C chord would go. So you're simply hitting the open strings, especially concentrating on the 5th and 4th strings, and then you hammer down into your C shape. So making the transition from the G chord to the C would be like this. Now once you do your hammer-on, your strum with your hammer-on, you hit the 5th string, and then you skip down to the 2nd string, then you hit the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. So it's probably a good idea to keep tabbing it out as we go along. So to do that slowly, again you hammer on, and then you hit the 5th string, 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. So it would be. Once more. Once you do that, you go up and you hit the 3rd string just on its own. So it would be. and then you finish off by hitting the first string, second string, third string, and back to the second string again, like that. So putting it all together. So it's a lot to remember just on your own. That's why it's a good idea to keep writing it out. So now let's try and put together our G chord and our C chord. After we finish picking through our C shape, we move fingers 2 and 3 down for our F chord, well, our F add 9 really, and you hammer on your second and third finger just in the same way as you did for your C chord. So this time the strings you're concentrating on hitting with your strum would be the fourth string and the third string, to get those two notes to come out cleanly in a hammer-on. So making the transition again from the C shape. Sorry, once more. Okay, so after you do your F shape hammer-on, you pick the fourth string and then the third string. Then you skip up and hit the first string, second string, third string, and back to the second string. So it would be and with the hammer on to begin with. So putting all of that together, the G and C and then into F. Sorry. Now we go back up and hammer into our C again, and you do the same pattern, picking pattern, but we're skipping from the fifth string down to the second string. So after you do your hammer on back into C, you hit the fifth string, second string, and then first string, second string, third string, and back to the second string. So again slowly. When you're playing the riff, you'll feel like your F and your C are very closely related because you're picking in the exact same pattern. It's just that on the C you have a big string skip from the second string down, from the fifth string down to the second. So putting the fifth string, the F chord and the C chord together, it would be. So you can see they're kind of they're like brother and sister. They're very closely related. And again, when I hammer into my C chord, I'm hitting the fifth string and then skipping right down to the second string, first string, second string, third string, and back to the second.